Your front yard might be the reason your finances feel stuck, and you don't even know it. Every day you walk out your front door expecting the world to meet you with opportunity. But what if your home is quietly sending out the wrong signals? What if the trees in front of your house, the ones you thought were just decorative, are actually blocking the natural flow of energy, prosperity, and momentum? Most American homeowners choose trees based on curb appeal, shade, or low maintenance. But in doing so, they often overlook something crucial: placement, structure, and the kind of energy each tree invites or rejects. Dense branches may block light. Overgrown trunks may choke airflow. And before you know it, your entryway, a space that should feel open and welcoming, becomes heavy, stagnant, uninviting. This isn't about superstition, it's about flow. Movement, the subtle but powerful difference between a house that draws opportunity in and one that quietly repels it. And the truth is, money, luck, and peace of mind all follow the same path. They go where they feel welcomed. The good news: changing this doesn't require tearing up your yard or spending a fortune. It's as simple as planting the right trees that naturally invite abundance, clear space for growth, and breathe life into your home's first impression. In this video, you'll discover 7 specific trees that, when placed near your front gate, can transform not just how your house looks, but how it feels, how it flows, and how much good it starts to attract. Ready to stop unknowingly blocking your own success? Let's begin with tree number 1. Part 1. Bamboo, the wealth magnet that bends but never breaks. You've seen it before, planted in sleek rows outside luxury spas, flanking the entryways of boutique hotels, or tucked into minimalist gardens that just feel good to be in. Bamboo, it's elegant, resilient, and deceptively simple. But what if it's more than just an aesthetic choice? What if this quiet, swaying plant holds the power to unlock something you've been chasing for years? Financial flow, peace of mind, and momentum that actually lasts. Here's the truth: if your life feels stuck, if money seems to come and go but never stay, if every opportunity feels just out of reach, then it's time to look at what's growing right outside your front door. Because bamboo doesn't just fill space, it channels energy. It creates movement, and movement is what money follows. Unlike heavy, dense trees that block light and air, bamboo knows how to breathe. Its tall, slender stalks stretch upward, not outward, signaling growth, direction, and purpose. Its leaves flutter lightly in the breeze, never overwhelming, always in rhythm with the environment around it. And here's what makes it powerful: bamboo bends, but it never breaks. Storms may come, winds may test it, but it always returns to center. Can your financial life say the same? Planting bamboo near your gate tells the world and yourself that your home is open to wealth that flows, not wealth that stagnates. In American neighborhoods where concrete, fences, and hedges dominate, bamboo adds vertical movement. It cuts through the horizontal noise and draws the eye upward, reminding everyone who enters that this is a space where things grow. Not fast and chaotic, but steady, with intention. This plant isn't loud, it doesn't bloom, it doesn't demand attention, but its presence changes the air, literally. Bamboo improves air quality, reduces noise, and balances moisture, making your home's entrance feel more alive, more breathable. And when your space breathes, so do you. That lightness you feel in a bamboo-lined garden, that's no accident. That's energy flowing freely. And energy that flows is energy that attracts. The beauty of bamboo is how effortlessly it fits into a modern American lifestyle. It requires little maintenance, doesn't drop messy leaves, and thrives in containers, meaning you don't need acres of land to harness its benefits. Just 2 tall pots on either side of your walkway can create a striking, energetic welcome for everyone who visits, including opportunities. But here's the secret most people miss. Not all bamboo is created equal. Clumping bamboo is your best friend. It grows in tight, graceful clusters and stays where you plant it. Avoid the invasive running types unless you want your entire yard overtaken. Choose varieties with vertical growth, clean lines, and bright green canes. They not only look modern but also reflect energy that rises, symbolic of finances that increase rather than shrink. Placement is key. Bamboo thrives when it has room to sway, so avoid cramming it in tight corners. Give it space near your gate, your walkway, or the main path to your front door. Let it stand like a quiet sentry, watching, welcoming, balancing. Keep it trimmed and clean, and you'll notice something unexpected. You'll start to feel clearer when you leave your house each morning. You'll feel lighter when you return. Your home will stop holding you back and start helping you rise. Because wealth isn't just about numbers, it's about motion. It's about ease. It's about having the wind at your back instead of always pushing against it. Bamboo gives you that. It won't scream for attention, but it will change everything. Quietly, powerfully, and just in time. Part 2, Orange Tree, the golden fruit that smells like prosperity. There's something about an orange tree that feels like good news. Maybe it's the vibrant color, bright, unapologetically golden. Maybe it's the scent, fresh, citrusy, alive. Or maybe it's what it does to a space, softening it, brightening it, making it feel instantly more hopeful. Whatever the reason, the orange tree has long been a silent symbol of wealth, and not the flashy kind, but the kind that sticks around. The kind that grows quietly, ripens over time, and shows up when you need it most. Walk past a house with an orange tree by the front gate and notice how it changes the whole mood. It doesn't just decorate, it radiates. There's a sense of fullness in the air, a kind of grounded optimism. You feel like the people inside have things in order, like their life has rhythm. It's not magic, it's design, and it's intentional. In American homes, we often separate beauty from purpose. We choose trees for shade, for blossoms, for landscaping rules. But the orange tree offers all of that and something more, an energy shift. Round fruit clustered in abundance signals plenty. Leaves that stay green all year keep the space looking fresh. And the blossoms, they're subtle but unmistakable, tiny white flowers that smell like possibility. This isn't about old superstition. It's about what the body and mind pick up before the brain even catches on. That sweet scent wafting in from the yard, it lowers stress. That pop of color by your entryway, it activates attention. That tree you see every time you pull into the driveway, it reminds you, without words, that life can bear fruit. And here's the real secret. The orange tree brings a feeling of reward. It reflects back to you the idea that effort leads to something. Not someday, now. When it's blooming, you feel like things are in motion. When the fruit arrives, it feels like confirmation. Yes, the seeds you planted are working. In a culture that moves fast and forgets to celebrate, that quiet affirmation matters. So how do you make this tree work for you? First, place it where you'll see it. Not hidden in a corner, not tucked behind a wall. Right near your gate, your walkway, or a visible spot that greets you and your guests. This is a tree meant to be seen and felt. Let it be part of your home's first impression. Choose a healthy, fruit-bearing variety that suits your climate. Navel, Valencia, or blood orange, depending on your region. Citrus loves sun, so make sure it gets plenty. Keep the soil nourished and the branches pruned, not just for aesthetics, but to encourage flow. When the tree is thriving, the space feels alive. When it's neglected, the energy dulls. That's the deal. If you're thinking you don't have room, remember this. Orange trees grow beautifully in large containers. Line your front steps with 2 of them and create a kind of energetic archway. Let the scent greet you before the door does. Let the color remind you that wealth can be beautiful, tangible, and simple. The orange tree doesn't push. It doesn't shout. It simply grows quietly, abundantly, generously. And that's the kind of prosperity most of us are actually looking for. Not the chaotic kind that crashes in and disappears, but the grounded kind that builds a little more each season. You don't need to chase it, just plant it. Care for it, let it speak. And when the fruit appears, take it as a sign, not just of what's coming, but of what's already here. Part 3, corn plant Dracaena, quiet but steady wealth. You've probably seen it before. Sitting quietly in a corner office, standing tall in a minimalist living room, lining the entrance of a cozy suburban home. The corn plant, or Dracaena, isn't flashy. It doesn't bloom in brilliant colors or perfume the air with sweet fragrance. But don't let its calm appearance fool you. This is a plant with a presence, a quiet force. A signal that something solid, steady, and enduring is taking root. If you've been craving consistency, financial stability, emotional grounding, peace that doesn't get rattled every time life throws a curveball, the corn plant might be exactly what your home is missing. Unlike fast-growing vines or high-maintenance shrubs, Dracaena doesn't rush. It doesn't sprawl. It rises slowly, steadily, holding its shape no matter what's happening around it. It's the plant version of someone who shows up every day, does the work, and never complains. And that energy matters. When placed near your front entrance, this plant communicates something subtle but powerful. This is a home where things get done, where calm decisions are made, where growth is slow, steady, and sustainable. It may not draw attention like a flowering tree, but the longer you live with it, the more you feel its effect. It grounds the space. It centers you. It helps you exhale after a long day and inhale with purpose as you step into tomorrow. American households often chase after results, bigger paychecks, faster growth, immediate success. But the corn plant teaches something else. Wealth that stays isn't the kind that explodes, it's the kind that builds. This plant reflects back that rhythm. Its thick, cane-like stalks store energy. Its wide, lush leaves reach upward without rushing. And its overall presence reminds you that prosperity doesn't always look exciting. Sometimes it looks like peace. And here's where it gets even more practical. Dracaena is nearly indestructible. It tolerates low light, dry air, and occasional neglect, making it perfect for busy homes, offices, or anyone who wants the energetic benefit of greenery without the stress of constant maintenance. It also purifies the air, pulling toxins out of your space and giving you more clarity, more breath, more room to think. Want to optimize its energy? Placement is key. Grouping 3 or 5 corn plants near your main walkway or porch creates an intentional path, a kind of energetic funnel that says, "This home welcomes grounded, lasting wealth." 3 represents balance and harmony. 5 symbolizes vitality and full life energy. Even a single plant placed thoughtfully can hold the space with quiet strength. Make sure the soil is well drained and avoid overwatering. Keep the leaves clean, not just for looks, but to allow the plant to breathe and keep its energetic field clear. You're not just caring for a plant, you're caring for the vibration of your home. That might sound subtle, but in the same way clutter in your entryway weighs you down, a healthy, upright plant lifts you up. In a world of noise, the corn plant is a whisper, but that whisper can shift everything. It doesn't chase attention, it earns respect. It doesn't promise overnight success, it offers long-term support. And if your life has been feeling scattered, chaotic, or simply stuck, this might be the steady presence your space and your energy needs. Because real wealth isn't loud. It's consistent. It's stable. It's the feeling of knowing that even on tough days, something in your life is still quietly growing. And sometimes that's more valuable than anything flashy ever could be. Part 4, Peach Tree, the tree that opens doors. You don't plant a peach tree just for the fruit. You plant it for what it represents. Beginnings, breakthroughs, and moments when something finally shifts. There's a reason the peach tree has become a quiet icon of transformation. It doesn't just bloom, it declares a new chapter. And when placed near your front gate, it signals to the world and to your own energy that this is a place where good things start. Think about it. What do you feel when you see a peach tree in full bloom? It's soft, inviting, impossibly hopeful. The delicate pink blossoms are like tiny promises, whispering that something beautiful is about to unfold. And that's not just aesthetics, it's energy. The peach tree has long been associated with mental clarity, creativity, and intellectual luck, not in a mystical sense, but in the way its presence subtly lifts the mind, shifts your mood, and opens up ideas you didn't realize were waiting. In the American landscape, especially in the South, the peach tree carries cultural warmth. It reminds people of summer, family, simplicity. But more than that, it reflects a rhythm we often forget. Seasons of growth, patience, and sudden, sweet reward. It doesn't fruit overnight. It asks for care, sunlight, and time, and when it's ready, it gives generously. Planting a peach tree near your entrance brings a specific kind of energy into your life, one of unfolding potential. It's the tree you plant when you're ready to open new doors. A career change, a creative leap, a deeper connection with your purpose. It says, this home is ready to grow in a new direction. But here's the key. Placement and care determine whether that energy flows or fizzles. Choose the southeast corner of your yard or a spot near the front gate that receives full morning light. This isn't just for growth. It's symbolic of clarity, fresh starts, and ideas waking up with the sun. Keep the branches trimmed to allow light and air to pass through. A dense, tangled tree can stall the energy it's meant to bring. And don't overlook the emotional impact. There's something deeply healing about seeing your tree blossom each year. It tracks time in a way that's gentle but grounding. It reminds you that even if life feels dormant now, beauty is preparing to return. That sense of timing is invaluable, especially when you're rebuilding, restarting, or stepping into something uncertain. Peach trees also support family energy. Their blossoms inspire calm, harmony, and communication. If your household has felt scattered, emotionally or physically, this tree creates a subtle invitation to come back together. Not forced, not dramatic, just natural. Like the way its petals open without effort, the energy it gives off invites connection without demand. For best results, choose a self-pollinating variety suited to your climate zone. Many modern cultivars are compact and ideal for smaller yards, and don't be discouraged if the first year yields little fruit. The magic is in the patience. Just like any meaningful change, it takes time to take root. But once it does, it continues, year after year, offering both literal nourishment and emotional reward. So if you're standing at a doorway in life, between careers, between phases, between versions of yourself, the peach tree might be exactly what your home needs to mirror that change. It won't push you through the door, but it will keep it open. Wide enough for the light to come in, wide enough for new things to begin. Part 5, Mountain Dracaena, the silent climber. You might walk past it and not even notice it at first. The mountain Dracaena doesn't scream for attention. It doesn't explode with color or demand the spotlight. Instead, it stands with quiet elegance, tall, lean, and steady. But don't be fooled by its simplicity. This is the plant of upward movement, the one that holds the frequency of ambition, not the loud, flashy kind, but the kind that builds quietly and consistently until one day you realize you've risen. In the world of landscaping, most homeowners choose plants for visual impact. But in the world of energy, flow, intention, the unspoken vibe of a home, the mountain Dracaena is a powerhouse. It grows upward with purpose, never sprawling or messy. Its narrow, sword-like leaves extend confidently, like someone who knows exactly where they're going. And when placed near your front gate or entryway, it does something subtle but powerful. It shifts the entire space upward. If you've ever felt stuck, like no matter how hard you work, you're still in the same place, this is the energy you need. The mountain Dracaena brings vertical motion. It supports momentum, inner clarity, and the kind of drive that doesn't burn out. In a culture obsessed with quick results, this plant reminds you that real success is about elevation, not speed, and that the most impressive growth often happens quietly. What makes this plant particularly suited to American homes is its resilience. It's drought-tolerant, low maintenance, and thrives in various climates. Whether you live in a sun-drenched suburb or a shaded city lot, the mountain Dracaena adapts. That's not just a gardening perk, it's a symbolic echo of the kind of mindset that succeeds in life. Flexible, enduring, and quietly determined. Place it near your garage, driveway, or the path leading to your front door. It's not meant to be tucked away. It should be seen, not for show, but as a reminder. Every time you pass it, it subtly affirms you're not stuck, you're still climbing. And that message seeps into your mindset over time. For best effect, keep the plant clean and upright. Remove browning leaves. Don't let it lean or collapse into surrounding space. You're crafting not just a landscape, but a narrative. One where your home says, we rise here, we aim higher, we move forward. The mountain Dracaena doesn't offer the sweetness of fruit or the burst of seasonal blooms. What it gives you instead is steadiness, a visual anchor that reminds you to keep showing up, to keep reaching, even on days when nothing feels certain. And perhaps that's the kind of wealth we forget to value, the internal kind, the strength to keep going, the structure to hold the climb. When it finally flowers, which it rarely does, it's considered a sign of incredible fortune. Not because the bloom is dramatic, but because it takes years to arrive. It's a quiet nod from the universe saying, you stayed the course, now receive. So plant it not for beauty, not for trend, but for truth. Because in a world full of noise and distractions, the mountain Dracaena offers something rare, a vertical line of focus, a quiet climb towards something better, a reminder that even in silence, growth is happening. Part 6, Pagoda Tree for those who dream big. The pagoda tree doesn't just belong in grand temples or historical estates. It belongs in the front yard of anyone who dares to dream big. It's a tree that speaks to legacy, to wisdom, to ambition that isn't just personal but generational. You don't plant a pagoda tree for shade or decoration. You plant it because you want your home and your life to stand for something more. With its smooth bark, elegant structure, and clusters of pale blossoms, the pagoda tree carries a presence that's both serene and commanding. It doesn't grow wildly. It rises with clarity, and when placed near your gate, it sets a tone. This is not just a house, this is a space with vision. A place where ideas matter, where the future is being shaped one steady choice at a time. In a fast-paced culture that often prizes the short-term win, the pagoda tree holds the long view. It mirrors the energy of those who move with purpose, who think before they act, and who are building not just a lifestyle, but a legacy. Its upright form and deep roots symbolize clarity of thought, integrity, and leadership. And if you've been craving a stronger sense of direction or the mental space to get clear on your next big move, this tree will support that intention. More than that, it offers an environment that encourages focus. Its blossoms emit a subtle fragrance that clears the air, literally and energetically. And its leaves filter light in a way that calms the mind without dimming the spirit. Place it by the front gate or in a prominent spot that aligns with your home's main path. Let it be the first thing visitors see. Let it declare without words, "This is a place where clarity leads and noise falls away." Pagoda trees are especially powerful for those in fields that require mental clarity. Writers, educators, entrepreneurs, thought leaders. If your work comes from your mind, your voice, or your vision, this tree becomes more than a backdrop. It becomes an ally. Its presence reminds you to return to your inner compass, especially when the world pulls you in a dozen directions. And unlike decorative plants that fade with the seasons, the pagoda tree stands green and vibrant year-round. That symbolizes stamina, longevity, a commitment to keep showing up even when results take time. You're not planting it for today, you're planting it for the decades to come. It also plays a powerful role in the emotional tone of a home. This tree doesn't stir things up, it settles them. It grounds the energy, making conversations smoother, tensions easier to diffuse, and minds more open to insight. If your household feels scattered or your focus slips easily, the pagoda tree holds a frequency of steadiness that everyone benefits from. When it blossoms, it's a quiet but powerful moment, not loud, not showy, but unmistakable. A sign that something deep is shifting, that the roots you've planted are ready to show their bloom. And in many traditions, when a pagoda tree flowers, it marks a turning point in clarity, career, and health. So if you're building something meaningful, whether it's a business, a book, a family legacy, or simply a more intentional way of living, this is the tree that holds space for that journey. You don't have to explain it. You just plant it, care for it, and let its presence speak for you. Because those who dream big don't need noise. They need focus. They need space. And they need reminders that their path is worth the patience it takes to walk it. Part 7. Eureka Palm, the breath of light and flow. The Eureka Palm doesn't shout for attention, it whispers balance. It doesn't dominate a space, it softens it. But its impact, immediate and unmistakable. If your home's entrance feels heavy, dull, or just a little off, the Eureka Palm might be the missing breath of fresh air you didn't know you needed. This isn't just a decorative plant, it's an energetic filter. It doesn't just sit there, it moves things gently and constantly in the right direction. Step up to a home framed by 2 thriving Eureka palms and you'll feel it before you understand it. The space feels lighter. The path feels open. There's clarity in the air, as if the home itself is exhaling stress and inhaling calm. That's not accidental. It's design at the energetic level. The Eureka Palm is one of the most powerful plants for restoring flow at your front gate. Not because it's dramatic, but because it understands something most people overlook. Energy moves like air and light. It needs space, softness, and rhythm. What makes the Eureka Palm so unique is how it interacts with its surroundings. Its long, feathery fronds don't block, they filter. They allow light to pass through, gently diffusing it rather than cutting it off. That creates a shimmering effect that feels both alive and calm, like a breeze made visible. In the language of space, this tree says, "Come in, you're safe here, this home breathes." And in a culture where so many homes feel visually overcrowded, emotionally cluttered, or simply stuck, that kind of flow is pure gold. The Eureka Palm is also exceptionally suited for American homes. It works in pots or in ground, in warm climates or indoors near large windows. It's non-toxic, low maintenance, and naturally purifies the air. But beyond the practical perks, it does something more important. It sets the tone. When placed on either side of your entryway, it creates a living gateway, not rigid or imposing, but graceful, inviting, balanced. It's the energetic equivalent of a deep breath after a long day. If your home feels like it's constantly absorbing chaos, family stress, work demands, financial anxiety, the Eureka Palm offers relief, not with force, but with presence. It doesn't solve problems, but it helps you return to yourself. Its upward movement, soft leaves, and golden green color support clarity, release, and openness. And over time, you'll notice that people who walk into your home feel more grounded. Conversations flow. Tension dissolves, not because anything changed, but because the energy of the space has shifted. To use the Eureka Palm effectively, placement matters. Put them in pairs, one on each side of your main entrance or flanking your front steps. Symmetry is key. You're creating a passage, a signal to the subconscious that this space is balanced. Avoid cluttering the area with other plants or objects. Give the palms room to breathe and they'll return the favor. Keep them clean. Dust the fronds gently, water regularly but not excessively, and trim any browning tips. You're not just maintaining a plant, you're honoring the flow it brings. When it's healthy and vibrant, you'll feel that same vitality reflected in your daily life. When it's neglected, the energy around your home can start to feel sluggish or blocked. Because in the end, it's not just about wealth. It's about receptivity, about creating a space where good things feel invited, not forced. The Eureka Palm doesn't pull prosperity in, it makes it comfortable enough to stay. And sometimes that shift from chasing to welcoming is all it takes to change everything. So plant it, watch it move. Let it teach your home how to breathe again. Let's step back for a moment. Think about the last time you stood in front of your own home, not just as a homeowner, but as a witness. What did you feel? Was it welcoming, clear, light? Or was it heavy, stuck, lifeless? Because here's the truth most people never pause to consider. Your home's entrance doesn't just greet your guests, it greets your future. And the way it's designed, the plants that frame it, the energy that moves through it, they shape what's allowed in and what quietly stays out. Across this journey, we've explored 7 trees, each one with its own rhythm, its own symbolic weight, its own quiet wisdom. Bamboo taught us about flexibility and flow, the kind of wealth that adapts without breaking. Orange trees brought brightness and reward, abundance made tangible. Corn plants anchored us in stability, reminding us that slow and steady is not only enough, it's enduring. Peach trees whispered of fresh starts and creative breakthroughs, blooming with new possibility. Mountain Dracaena offered silent momentum, a vertical line to keep climbing, even when progress feels invisible. Pagoda trees stood for clarity, leadership, and the kind of dream that lives beyond today. And finally, Eureka Palms showed us how to breathe again, how to make space for peace, for light, for life to enter with ease. Each of these trees works on a practical level, yes. They clean the air, soften your landscape, boost curb appeal. But beneath the surface, they shift something deeper. They restore rhythm. They reflect back what you value. They hold space for what you're trying to create, not just in your yard, but in your life. You see, prosperity isn't just about money. It's about how open your home feels when you walk up the path. It's about whether energy moves, whether you breathe deeper when you step inside. It's about whether your space supports you or slowly works against you. So as you consider what to plant, don't just think in terms of color or size. Think in terms of energy, of invitation. of what you want your front gate to say, not just to neighbors or passers-by, but to opportunity itself. Because trees don't just grow, they become mirrors. And what you place at the entrance of your life becomes the filter for everything that follows. So choose with care, plant with intention, and let your home start speaking a different kind of language, one of clarity, growth, and open doors. One that doesn't just hope for abundance, but welcomes it in.